你究竟有冇中意過我？
Hello and welcome to A Day of Film. Today's film in question is Days of Being Wild, directed by Wong Kar-wai and starring Leslie Cheung. So I am not in any way new to a Wong Kar-wai movie. I have seen 4 of his other films, 5 including this one, with Chungking Express being one of my favorite films of all time. So I went into this movie with very high expectations because I really wanted to like it, because I've loved all of his other films and it'd be a shame if this one was bad. And I'm very happy to say that I really like this movie. I still think it's probably his weakest that I've seen, but this is still a very strong, beautiful movie in a lot of the same ways that Happy Together is, if you're comparing it to other Wong Kar-wai movies. But this movie really benefits from the same things that Happy Together did, but I think Happy Together did the romantic aspect a bit stronger. But the things that I really appreciated about this movie was colors, just the look of the movie, obviously the cinematography and the character writing, and the setting. The setting of what looks like South America, but is, I guess, just very jungly Hong Kong, is so beautiful and such a great setting for the film, because comparing it to In the Mood for Love and Fallen Angel and Chungking Express, or Fallen Angels, this movie mentally stands out so much more because it's in the middle of this dense green forest and it looks so beautiful, and the color grading, I don't know how they made it look this unique, but with the almost green skin and the light, it just looks so excellent. And that's one of the reasons I love Wong Kar-wai so much, and I like this movie so much too, is because he adds this super personal, unique look to each movie that he does, and it can't be ignored because it's so just excellent and so interesting to watch. Speaking of the characters though, I really like the characters in this movie, mainly Andy Liu's character, Tide, the cop turned sailor, and the main character too, Leslie Cheung's character, Yuddy. That interaction that they have at the end of the movie, even if it's only 25 minutes, it stands out in my head because it's normally in a Wong Kar-wai movie where it's 2 simultaneous stories happening, they're very disconnected and they don't really meet. I'm thinking back to Chungking Express where the cop and the PI or whatever he is, they don't really meet. They don't even see each other at all. But in this movie, both ends of the story kind of link up and interact with each other, and it feels so surreal to see these 2 characters because they don't really, before that, they would never share screen time. You don't even see them in the same room or anything. And then seeing them become buddies, it kind of flipped the whole thing on its head because it's just not something I'm used to seeing in a Wong Kar-wai movie. And I just wish that part was longer because it stands out in my head as being such a cool, interesting moment of the film. The 2 female characters, Maggie Cheung as Sue and Karina Liu as Leung, they're both really interesting characters. And again, watching them interact also kind of feels like 2 worlds meeting as well, if not as much. They both have really interesting perspectives of their relationship with Yuddy, and seeing how dependent Leung is on Yuddy and seeing how Sue has already moved on and is already kind of scarred by Yuddy is a really nice dynamic. And watching Yuddy fall for the cop, falling for Tide, and that final scene just hits me so hard when I watched it because it's kind of like that, as silly as it sounds, it's like a Wong Kar-wai stinger, where it's that final interaction between 2 characters, or attempted in this movie, where she calls a telephone box and it just rings, and that's just how the movie ends. It's just such a hard-hitting ending that I kind of expected, but I still really enjoyed watching. I really like the characters though. They felt very well written, in accordance to Wong Kar-wai's prior films, and I guess I have to harp on the coloring and just the look of the movie again, because even though there are only 3 total scenes of driving, there's this one 9-second shot of Yuddy driving, and it shows the sky, and because the color grading is so insane, the sky is green, this teal green, and it looks so beautiful because it's such a unique look for a movie. And then that scene where Yuddy's friend is driving his car trying to hit on Leung and it's raining, it just looks so great. And it's because of this weird Hong Kong jungle city setting that looks like South America. And even Yuddy's apartment. It's like this kind of melting wallpaper apartment, and it just looks so great. I'm harping on it a lot, but you couldn't get a movie like this from anyone other than Wong Kar-wai, because he just does his movies so unique, so interesting. And another thing I have to compliment the movie on is the use of music. I don't know if this movie even has an original soundtrack to it, but the music that they use feels appropriate and it fits really well. And it's also just really great old South American music. And I just really appreciate what it does for the film, even though it's not set in South America, it's set in Hong Kong. I still really like it really gave off the feeling of South America, and the music helped with that too, obviously. And it just gave a really almost multicultural feel to the movie. And those like 4 scenes in the Philippines are also really great. You know, it's a globe-trotting adventure kind of thing. But I mean, that's all I really have to say on this movie. I can't do much more than just recommend Wong Kar-wai's filmography, or at least his popular 5 or 6, because I mean, I haven't seen 2042, I think it's called, but I'm sure it's great. Please go watch a Wong Kar-wai movie. It's New Year's Eve, you know, you want to start the new year off right, go watch Chungking Express or In the Mood for Love, because that's how you start off a new year. But that's all I really wanted to say, and I will see you in the theaters.